were made by the Naveen Patnaik government. Your party. No, right or wrong?
Well, Arnab, 40% of Odisha, India's 40%, I don't know. Well, I can't tell you how many recommendations the government has made because I'm not in the government and I'm not the Minister of Mines. But I can tell you 40% of India's reserves of coal is in Odisha. And according to this, the coal allocation policy, which is determined only by the central government, and the state governments have to function within the paradigms of their determined coal allocation policy, captive use for coal can be done for certain sectors like power, steel, etc.
I know that policy.
So all state governments, not just Odisha, all state governments have to function within a recommendatory power.
Yeah.
Now the crucial difference here, Arnab, is that state governments can recommend an allocation to a certain project, but they do not in any manner determine the price in which the recommendation is done. In fact, most state governments that I know of have been demanding a hefty hike in the royalty
One
pay.
second.
Because there exists a huge difference between the market price and the cost of producing that coal. And if that hike in royalty had come through, you would not have had such a huge so-called loss to the exchequer.
Sorry, there's a factual problem with what you're saying.
A lot of revenue out of it.
You are arguing on the issue of cost, but I'm so happy tonight we are going into detail. Because, one second, Rajiv, I'll come to you. I just want to ask a small follow-up to Kalikesh. Question is tonight that everyone's doing high moral ground posturing. The fact is, Kalikesh, you as in your government makes a recommendation. Now look at the similarity between spectrum and coal. On both, your party takes high moral ground. In both cases, allocations are made on the basis of an application which requires minimum detail, where awards can be justified with people with scant public scrutiny. There is a clear similarity. In fact, there are detailed articles now about the similarities between 2G and Colgate. Who's signing off? Who's asking for these flimsy pieces of paper to be cleared?
Mr. Arnab Goswami.
Bureaucrats from which state government? No, let's go into detail. Let's go into detail. Are you willing to share the blame there?
Let's go into detail here.
Yeah, let's go into detail.
No, you should not.
Let's go.
Why should we not go into detail?
We are
Rajiv, why should we not go into? We'll go into detail. Yeah. Continue, Kalikesh. Let's go into detail.
Question, please.
Go into detail. Yeah.
No, Kalikesh.
We as a country are short of power, electricity.
No, let him answer, Mr. Rudy.
Let me just say one thing,
Yes.
Rajiv. Let me just say one thing here, Rajiv.
Yeah.
The fact is, we as a country are short of infrastructure like power and power and steel, etc., which is needed for the development of our country. Now, the central government puts into place a certain system by which you can allocate power coal blocks to any power plants coming up in the state.
You don't question the system.
We need the power. We do not have a system. Allow me to finish, Arnab. We do not have a system of supplying coal if we don't allocate those coal blocks. So we recommend those coal blocks, but we do not say give it to them free. We do not say that don't charge them a royalty. In fact, we at the Odisha state government has been demanding a huge royalty.
Sorry, but you are aware.
There exists a windfall. We are aware.
You are aware. At that time, your state government is aware that going back 4 years, Rajiv Rudy, when I go into specific, you're stalling me.
No,
you're stalling me when I'm going into...
just a second. You are trying to trouble my young friend Kalikesh.
I am not interested. He is capable of defending himself.
No, it's not the question. Mr. Arnab, you are completely trying to mislead the debate. And you will say, why a charge? Don't shoot the messenger. When the policy to make a law, when the Prime Minister agrees to make a law for auction, and meanwhile keeps on allotting coal blocks, you expect the state governments to sit back while the Prime Minister on his own is allotting the coal blocks, and you don't expect the state governments to come and fix it.
No, that's completely misleading.
Just a second. And the state government should become ideological, and the Prime Minister must indulge in whatever he wants to do.
I am not exonerating the Prime Minister.
This is exactly what is the problem.
I am not exonerating the Prime Minister.
When the Prime Minister, sorry sir, when the Prime Minister had decided that there should be a law for auction, why did he allow that to be pending?
Now
and
see,
during the
now see,
pendency,
Rajiv.
any state government for the requirement of the
Now
state
see,
would
Rajiv.
definitely make
Now
an
see,
application, and you are trying to turn
No,
the table by saying
I
that
disagree
here
with
is
what
the
you're
state
saying.
No,
I am
the
not
fault
trying to do
of
that.
making a legislation
I
when it
am
was
asking-
decided, Mr. Arnab Goswami,
I am asking
when it
informed
was
questions
decided
to all
was with
sides.
the central government.
I
So
am
do not
asking-
accuse the state government. The fault
I am-
and the crime
you see,
has been
this is-
committed by the central government.
I am asking informed questions to all sides. I'm asking the Congress. I'm asking the Congress tonight. Actually, let me get in Mehboob Beg, who's also with the NC, and I saw Farooq Abdullah of Fire and Brimstone today. So I have got questions for all the panelists today. My question to Mehboob Beg is, it's all right for Farooq Abdullah to be fire and brimstone
No, don't
outside
forget
Parliament.
us, Mr.
Let Parliament function. I have a question for you, sir, Mr. Beg, because tonight I'll be specific. Let me take you back to 2007. Two things are happening in 2007. In 2007, apparently the Prime Minister is repeatedly writing to a minister who's gone out of control called Mr. A. Raja. Please have auctions, please have auctions. And A. Raja does not listen. Hence, A. Raja pays the price. Also in 2007, Mr. Mehboob Beg, it is 1 year since a bureaucrat is telling the government have the same policy for coal. But each time the bureaucrat is bringing the possibility of having auctions for coal, it is being stalled and the Prime Minister is very much in the know. My question to you is, do you agree that the Prime Minister's office in the year 2007-2008 was following a different policy ostensibly for 2G and a different policy for coal? If so, why? If so, why?
No, Mr. Arnab, let's
You are asking a
put things in
very
proper
good question to a
perspective as
different
you
wrong
started
person.
this debate. And the topic was entirely different. Question is, here we are discussing the corruption which is eating into
Yes.
the vitals of the society. Let's concentrate and focus on that. Question is, BJP is stalling the functioning of the parliament. We have to discuss everything in the parliament. Civil society is becoming restive, as you saw in very recent times. We saw Anna Hazare, we saw other agitations going on, and we, I mean the political system, the political class, told them don't get restive, we are here for a serious legislative business. I say my question to BJP is, they should have in fact demanded
a debate.
Without stalling the functioning of the parliament, they should have demanded a debate, a discussion on a serious issue like the one we are facing right now. Instead of doing that, they are stalling the debate. The essence, the spirit of the democracy is debate, discussion. Everything will follow up. I don't say unless and until we say that we have to take this menace, this evil which is known as corruption head on. If we go on arguing and say that BJP's corruption is less corruption or no corruption, and
Rajiv Rudi, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you.
The credibility of the entire system is at its lowest ebb.
Hear him out. I'm surprised here. I want to get Krishna Prasad in because he hasn't spoken. Then we have
because we are bypassing
my
the
question
main
is,
issue.
why is the BJP Krishna Prasad even today not even asking for a debate with voting? You can say we'll have a debate. Let's have a vote. Then let's debate whether there should be a vote or not a vote. This is a unique situation. Can the entire rest of the session be wasted like this? Krishna, who do you blame for what's going on? Which side do you blame more?
Arnab, I think it's a very tough task to just blame any one side in this whole story. I think both sides are playing a very dangerous game which is chipping away at the vitals of our democracy. All these politicians talk of Parliament being the temple of our democracy, and what we are really seeing over months, in fact for a couple of years now, is basically sacrilege in this temple of democracy. You're seeing obstructionism as a right for the opposition. On the other hand, you're also seeing obfuscation on the side of the government. So you're basically seeing both sides playing a very dangerous game, and as Dr. Beg very rightly said, you're seeing these very vital issues being discussed and debated on the streets and being sought to be resolved on the streets and now out of the house. It's a very dangerous path to be on. So you can't really blame either side. But the fact is, you're seeing theatrics and histrionics of a very high order because both sides are playing a game of high stakes. Both sides are seeing this issue as leading into 2014. I think the BJP wants to keep the pressure on. It wants to corner the UPA, and it's a legitimate right of the BJP to do so. At the same time, the Congress wants to short circuit any possibility that the PM could be further put on on the mat. You see, I think we are getting confused between 2-3 issues here. One is 2G scam, which is a different thing. The other is this coal scam. So I think the whole idea of the Congress and the UPA is to forestall any kind of a effort to put the PM on the mat in the coal scam. But that said, what you are also seeing is a very dangerous thing on part of the ruling dispensation. This is a government which does not believe in judicial scrutiny. This is a government which doesn't believe in any kind of accounting by statutory bodies. This is a government which doesn't want any kind of parliamentary debate on the touchy issues of the day. This is a government doesn't want the media to be exerting too much pressure. This is a government which doesn't
Renuka
want
Chaudhary.
tweeters to be parodying government and people in government. So you're looking at a government which is essentially buried its head in the sand and doesn't want to face the reality. The reality is very obvious. This government is facing a serious credibility crisis. This Prime Minister is facing a serious credibility crisis. This is the key difference between 2009 and now. 2009, when the UPA went to elections, the Prime Minister's credibility was its USP. In 4 years, the opposition, led by others like Anna Hazare and company, have chipped away at that credibility, and I think that's the key difference. And what you're seeing now is one of the penultimate.
Why is the Prime Minister not stepping forward?
Chipping away at his credibility.
Why is the Prime Minister not stepping forward?
2014 elections.
1 second. Swapan Dasgupta, if the Prime Minister, for example, steps forward now and says, I don't want this crisis to continue, and gives a very detailed, suppose the Prime Minister goes on television and gives a fairly detailed explanation. He says he's not being allowed to speak in the House. Let him give a detailed explanation for what happened. You think that will work?